Alright, hello everyone. Happy Friday. It is August 26, 2016. I am Darkside Phil. Indeed, it is Friday. And so for many of you, this is the end of your week. Whether it's the end of your work week, the end of your school week. I know not many of my viewers pretty much are in school right now. It is more still the end of summer break, although some people are actually going back to school this quickly, if you can believe it. Ugh. Going back to school that early from summer break leaves a bad taste in my mouth, but I don't know how... I certainly don't know how the school system works anymore. I've been out of it for quite a long time. But anyway, yeah, it's the end of the week. Time to chillax. Welcome to my gameplay stream for the day. And today it's going to be King of Fighters XIV. Now, I've been playing this game all week. I've been playing it as the secondary game. I've been focusing more on Deus Ex than this. And, you know, it is what it is. The game, in my opinion, it's kind of a mix. And let me explain. The graphics are not very good. It almost seems to me like they didn't have a lot of resources to work with this game. Because it's the first time there's ever been a King of Fighters game, an official entry in the series, a numbered entry that's in 3D. And the graphics are not anything to write home about. They're not great. Okay? They're just not. It's that simple. Being straight up honest, they're not great. They're okay. They look like something from like maybe 10 years ago would have been acceptable. Okay? So it's kind of jarring when you play this game and you're like, wow, the graphics, you know, the backgrounds aren't very detailed. The characters in a lot of cases aren't very detailed. You know, I wonder what's going on with that. But the combat, the gameplay is very much a major throwback to classic King of Fighters games. Keep in mind that this is a series that's been around since 1994. You know? 1994 is when the first installment of King of Fighters released. And I played it. I've played the original like 4 or 5 games in arcades, and then I played a few more of them on PC and consoles over the years. From various methods. Some of them weren't even available as console games, so I had to play them on emulators and stuff. But the series is a long-running one. And the combat of this game pretty much is a kind of a throwback to the old days. It really is. It's very different from the modern games where things are dumbed down and everything's super easy, dial of combos, right? And it's not like that. They seem that they really wanted to go back to more of a traditional mindset with the game. Now, not to say that the game doesn't have modern stuff. There's a max mode with EX moves and advanced combos, and you can super cancel one super into another super. So there is like modernized kind of stuff to the game, but it does feel to me more like an old school fighter than anything that I've played in recent memory, including games like Street Fighter V or Mortal Kombat 10 or anything. It feels more like almost like Smash Mouth fighting. Okay? Now, the thing about that is, old school fighters are not necessarily the most balanced games. What ends up happening is traditionally you get characters that may look cool, but then when you actually try to play them in a competitive standpoint, they get completely outplayed by other characters. And I can already tell you, I could tell from as a fact, just by playing some of these characters in this game, that without having a true reversal, or without having, you know, a certain mechanic or a big combo ability, that a lot of these characters may not be very viable in competitive play. Alright? So even though the cast of characters is like 50 characters, when you take a look and you wonder, gee, I wonder if, you know, 20 of these characters aren't even going to hold a candle to the others. It does kind of suck. But the bottom line is, at least the characters exist, you know? You look at a game like Street Fighter V, the newest installment of Street Fighter doesn't even have 20 characters, you know? And you compare that to something like this, and you're like, damn, you know, how could it be such a dichotomy? Now, I take that back, because now that I said that, I think the game does have 20 characters when you factor in all of the DLC characters. So now, of course, people will say, Phil's wrong. Well, you know what I'm saying. This game has quite a bit of variety in the character selection compared to modern fighters. Now, also, this game has a bunch of modes. Not only does it have a traditional story/arcade ladder mode, which is what a lot of people look for in a modern fighting game, it's also got training mode. Duh, every game has a training mode now. But then it's also got trials It's also got a time attack. It's also got a survival mode. And, of course, it's got online play. So it really did launch more of a full-fledged game than, you know, definitely Street Fighter V, which is the game that a lot of people are comparing this to. Now, that's not saying much. I mean, let's be honest here. If you actually compare both of these games to a game like Mortal Kombat 10 from last year, I think Mortal Kombat 10 had, like, way more content. You know, keep in mind it had not only its story mode, but it had all those challenge towers, and it had the crypt, and it had all kinds of stuff in it. So it is what it is, but still, it's a pretty good solid entry when it comes to the amount of content in the game, that's for sure. Now, today on stream, it's the first time I'm actually doing an earlier stream of King of Fighters, okay? What I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be attempting some online gameplay. However, I want to forewarn everyone here. I have heard really bad stuff in regards to the online gameplay of King of Fighters 14. As in, like, it really lags. It's slow-mo gameplay. It's just not very good. And that's sad. That really is sad because, you know, this game had a chance, in my opinion, to say, hey, look, we have a low budget, we don't even have the expertise of the people who put out Street Fighter V, but here's a game with ridiculous amounts of content compared to it, and, you know, a better experience. Unfortunately, if the online play is terrible, I think that could sour the experience for a lot of gamers. Now, what I've heard is that they are currently patching the game to make it better, and that supposedly they want to try to fix it, but who knows if or when a patch will be released and if it really will fix it or not, okay? I've never played a fighting game with good online play. I'm just going to say that, throwing that out there. I've never have. Every fighting game I've ever played had some kind of ridiculous delay, you know, lag spikes, cheaters. It's just not a good experience. And it sucks because, you know, for a lot of people, you don't have an in-person competition to be playing the game with. You're looking for an online experience because you don't necessarily know people who you can have come over your house and play these games with you, right? So it kind of sucks, but it is what it is. I'll be starting off today checking this out, all right? If the online play is so god-awful horrendous that, you know, after, you know, a little bit trying to do it, it's unplayable. The good news is there's more than enough to do in the game. I've only checked out maybe 4 or 5 of the teams in the game. So there's way more stuff to check out, different characters to try, trials, you know, going through the arcade mode. There's a lot to do. So even with the fact that the online play may suck, there's still going to be enough to make a fun and hopefully entertaining stream for you here today, okay? Now, I don't know how many people are going to show up. The bottom line is that, number one, this is not a heavily advertised, heavily hyped release. It's just not. Now, let's be realists here. How many people are going wild for King of Fighters 14? Not that many, all right? And number two, you know, being that there hasn't been a lot going on, and unfortunately, this week has been a slower week for me. Overall, people really, for whatever reason, haven't really been coming out to check out the new stuff. It must be that people aren't finding the stuff like Deus Ex very interesting. So, I haven't been getting big crowds on stream this week. It's funny, I've been getting bigger crowds earlier this month for games like Sonic 2006 and Scarface than I was for this. So, we'll see what happens. I'm still looking forward to today. I'm still looking forward to having fun with the game, regardless of how many people show up. But if you're sitting here watching, like, man, there's a lot of people on stream, well, that's why. It really has kind of not been a very busy week for me. Not a very attention-grabbing one, I guess. All right. Now, later tonight, I'm going to be making a first impressions after, you know, 9 or so hours of gameplay video for Deus Ex Mankind Divided over on KO Gaming. Reason I'm doing that? 2 reasons. Number one, because, you know, the raw gameplay hasn't been so popular this week. So I want to mix it up a little bit. And number two, because it's been a week since I released a video for KO Gaming. If you're not aware, my last video that I put up on KO Gaming was my review of No Man's Sky. It has 60,000 views and still going strong. Every day it's getting thousands more views. And I've gotten probably over 1,000 new subscribers since I released the video on the channel. So I want to say thank you to those of you who have checked out the video or spread the word about it. And, you know, head over there if you want to see. You know, a good first impressions of the first 9 or 10 hours of gameplay of Deus Ex Mankind Divided. That'll be hopefully released tonight. I'm going to do my best to put that video together for you tonight and release it on KO Gaming. Alright? Excuse me. Okay. Now, what's going on for the rest of the weekend? Well, tomorrow and Sunday, I am going to be focusing on Deus Ex. I just want to warn everyone, because today I'm doing a full stream of King of Fighters. I'm going to take a little bit of time away to focus on Deus Ex. What I want to do is try to get as far as I can in the game, because the bottom line is there is new stuff coming up this week in the form of Attack on Titan and Nuka-Cola or Nuka World expansions for Fallout 4 there. And knowing that those are coming out, I do want to try to get as far as I can in Deus Ex before those hit, although I get the feeling I'm not going to get very far, because Deus Ex seems to be an incredibly long game, okay? So more than likely you'll see Deus Ex for 2 days, and then maybe on Monday we'll switch it up again. I'll do King of Fighters and Deus Ex as my streams. I don't know. We'll see, alright? But you can expect a lot of Deus Ex this weekend, especially if, you've been following the playthrough, and you're a little disappointed that there's no new videos of that today. It'll be continuing tomorrow, alright? Okay. Outside of that, I really don't have anything else to talk about on the pre-stream. So very quickly, I'll go through my little plugs segment, and then we'll get started, okay? So first of all and foremost, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching the live streams. Thank you for watching my on-demand videos. I appreciate your viewership. I hope you've been having a lot of fun over the summer, even though it's been a more low-key summer. You know, we're about to have a lot of new releases coming and hitting us in the next few months that I'll be covering, so I hope to see you daily. You know, whenever you have time, come on by, alright? There's many ways that you can help me to continue to be successful here on YouTube outside of just watching the videos and streams. First of all, I have clarification for everyone. Alright, I've been heavily promoting Loot Crate in the past month. Every single stream, every pre-stream, I've been talking about this. I put all the Loot Crate description stuff in the description of my videos. There was confusion last night in regards to this because Loot Crate gave me misinformation, and I actually got this literally from the mouths of Loot Crate employees last night. They fired a bunch of people who were doing a poor job and giving everyone false information, okay? So allow me to explain. I have a discount code that you can use on Loot Crate if you would like to save money on any Loot Crate subscription, okay? And it works on any subscription. Loot Anime, Loot Gaming, the regular Loot Crate. I know they have a Halo Crate. They have a new WWE Slam Crate. That's a bi-monthly one, alright? However, I was given misinformation and told that you could just type the code in and it works. Apparently it doesn't. But what you need to do, if you'd like to take advantage of 10% off any new subscription on Loot Crate, you go to lootcrate.com/darksidephil. And that's important. You have to actually go to that referral link first, and then you can select any Loot Crate and use the code SAVEME10DSP. That's SAVEME10DSP, and you'll save 10% on any Loot Crate. Now, this is not limited to only being used once. So let's say, for example, this month you wanted to try out the gaming crate. So you do a gaming crate this month, you're like, okay, I liked it, but now I want to try out an anime crate. You can cancel that one, and you can sign up for a new crate using the same discount code and the referral link, you know, lootcrate.com/darksidephil, and you can save 10% again. Basically, any time that you start a Loot Crate subscription, you can save 10% using this code. But you have to use the referral link, and this is what they didn't tell me, so I get the feeling a lot of people might have tried to use the code and it didn't work. And I apologize for that because I wasn't told this. And it was hilarious that I had this email conversation with an employee from Loot Crate last night, and the guy was so apologetic. He's like, listen, you know, it's certainly not your fault. We had a bunch of employees who basically were very lazy, not doing their job properly, and not giving proper info, and we got rid of them all. And I'm a new guy, and I'm here to make sure you're doing it right, so that, you know, you get credit and your viewers get the discount that they want, not that they're signing up and nothing's happening. So there you have it. That's the deal. I'm going to be talking about this in the next few days so people who've been trying to use it can finally use it properly. FYI, I'll probably even do a tweet about it later tonight, like a longer tweet or something. Okay? Alright, so there you go. There's the deal on Loot Crate. Apologies if anyone got confused about that. Okay? Twitter, @TheyCallMeDSP. Please follow me there. Lots of important information, including nightly schedule updates, and all kinds of stuff. I posted up a cute video of my hamsters this morning. You know, different stuff. I don't go crazy on there, by the way. I'm not going to put out 500 shit-posting tweets like some people do. It's more for business and just personal stuff rather than, you know, being stupid. KO Gaming, I've already mentioned, but you should check it out at youtube.com/KOGaming1. It's where I put up my highly edited videos. Alright? It's not raw stuff like DSPGaming is. It's all edited voiceover, stuff like that, okay? So please check that out, and tonight there'll be a new video there, hopefully, about Deus Ex Mankind Divided. Patreon at patreon.com/DarksidePhil. There's 5 days left in this month, which means there's 5 days left to pledge to my Patreon. There's about $160 left for us to hit our funding goal for the month, which is a full playthrough of either Jak 3, Banjo-Kazooie, or Crash Bandicoot 3 Warped. There's still 5 days left, so there's plenty of time for you to pledge if you have not been able to yet. And I hope we hit the funding goal. People who pledge $5 or more will be voting on which game they want to see in September. Alright? Fair enough? Is that alright? Is okay? Quick and easy. Keep in mind, it's not just that goal you're pledging. You also get all kinds of personal perks. I'm not going to go into detail about it. I'd rather just have you check it out there at the website. Patreon.com/DarksidePhil. It's very self-explanatory. Alright? And then, of course, my girlfriend has her own business, The Black Currant, where she makes handmade glycerin soaps and wax tar melts. It's been very popular, especially since she launched it, earlier last year. Over 500 orders have been placed and fulfilled. She's got nothing but positive feedback. Listen, I love her stuff, but don't take my word for it. You should go check it out yourself at the website right here on your screen, because she's got tons of customer positive feedback telling you how good the stuff is. Consider it for yourself, as a gift, lots of different things that you can purchase that stuff for and enjoy it, alright? Alright, that's it. See, short and sweet. Didn't go into a super long plug segment at all. Thank you, everyone, for being patient. And now I guess we'll begin. We'll see how the hell this is going to turn out. King of Fighters Online. I don't know. I'm a little apprehensive here from what I've heard, but I guess we'll give it a go. Alright? Thank you. And here we go.